So look, it has been done if England can jag another 30, 40, 50 runs. And
there's been so much hype around him in English cricket for such a long time.
And a bit of a flavour of England's series at the moment.
Because of course, that conversation has been going on for some time now, whether he was to force Cameron Green out of the side. Well, England has finally done it. They are finally showing the kind of fight that it takes to win test matches here in Australia as they push this Sydney test into a fifth and final day. Jacob Bethell has his first century in both test and first class cricket. However, it comes at a time when the Ashes are now long gone. Sam Jordan from 9 News, joined by Tom Decent from the Sydney Morning Herald. Tom, England are playing good cricket here in Sydney.
Yeah, wonderful day for England. The match obviously still well behind, and I widely expect Australia to wrap up that result tomorrow and a 4-1 series result. But incredibly impressive from Jacob Bethell. Been a pretty good introduction and spoke in his press conference about starting slowly throughout the tour, albeit not in the test squad. And contributing to a result in Melbourne and 100 here in front of his old man and family. So, nice day for him. But, I think he would have loved to have done it in a live test, but not to be. And, monkey off the back with a first-class century, and doing it in a test is pretty rare for a specialist batsman.
Yeah, that's right. It's probably a pretty fair reflection of where this Ashes series is currently at, that I'm just patting England on the back and talking about the positives when they are almost certain to lose this test match here. Their lead is 119 at the moment. They will add a few more runs to that tomorrow, but given the way that the pitch has been playing, it would be a stunning result, the likes of which there are very few examples if Australia doesn't go on to win from here. England has defended 110 here at the SCG before. That was pretty recently, back in 1887. Of course, South Africa defending 117 in 1994 is still somewhat fresh in the memory, but I don't think Australia lose from here.
Yeah, I think 98, England defended 160 odd to win. So look, it has been done if England can jag another 30, 40, 50 runs and make it a little bit of a tricky chase. Usman Khawaja spoke after play to the ABC and said, some chases are easy, some you have to really work really hard for. He did say that he doesn't think he'll be opening. There were some whispers that maybe Usman might get promoted up the order to try and open in his final test innings, but he's more than happy for Travis Head and Jake Weatherall to take the first ball tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's chat about Jacob Bethell, because there has been so much excitement about him. There's been so much hype around him in English cricket for such a long time. Of course, he has come into the setup in a pretty unconventional way in terms of not really spending his time in county cricket. He's now 22 years old. I didn't realise until today that he actually captained England's T20 team at the age of 21, and today he delivered on that potential.
Absolutely, really impressive knock in all respects. Great tempo. Obviously plays a lot of white ball cricket. A lot of his comments yesterday were interesting, where he said, whilst I'm playing a lot of cricket all year round, I'm not playing enough red ball cricket. I still feel like I'm adequately prepared to play test cricket. And they monkey off the back, as we spoke about. It is pretty incredible that England have gone out with a number 3 without a first class 100. Leading into the series, you just would never fathom something like that for an Australian squad, but he gets it done. Looks really assured, and he said after play that he was pretty happy that the spinner came on and he could get the business done to go from 99 to 103, went for 4.
Yep.
So unbeaten at stumps as well, which is important as well. The Jamie Smith run out was a bit comical, and a bit of a flavour of England's series at the moment, but he'll be mighty pleased. And look, bright things ahead of 2027 Ashes, where he'll be an integral part of that squad, you'd imagine.
Yeah, that's right. Today was probably a pretty good example of the mixed personalities that this team has seemed to show over the course of this Ashes series as well. Fight and resilience from England throughout the day, but then some senseless wickets. I think Will Jacks would probably be wanting that one back as well. It just didn't really seem like the time that he needed to do it.
Not at all. I mean, he's been very, very good with the bat, to be fair. We've spoken a lot about England going for a batting all-rounder and him providing a little bit of off-spin, but he'd like to have that one back as well. And slug from snug, come on down. I'm sure we'll talk about that. A 3-wicket haul bowling his offies, and he spoke at length about sometimes not bowling them as much at training can make them better out in the game as well. And vital little period there for Australia, and underlines his importance, the fact that he wasn't picked in the first 4 tests and gets his chance on the back of 71 not out, to basically give him a test batting average of over 40 and a bowling average of about 22 or so.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's keep chatting about Beau Webster as well, because of course that conversation has been going on for some time now, whether he was to force Cameron Green out of the side. In the end, here in Sydney, they are playing alongside each other, but Webster is someone who has been patient across the course of this Ashes series for a while there. It looks like he'd be the only squad member not to get a game, and he's certainly taken his opportunity as well, not only with the bat, like you do mention, because he got to stumps pretty quickly last night, and what was it, 42 by the time he was at stumps last night, with really positive batting before the close of play yesterday. But the fact that he started bowling seam up, then he did switch to the offies and he comes away with 3 wickets. Yeah, that's versatility and that's resilience as well, isn't it?
I'm surprised it took 50 overs for Australia to go to that tactic. Obviously, Travis Head bowled a little bit of off breaks as well. Scores his runs quickly. Obviously, debuted out here and he's very assured and measured in his game. He's been playing Sheffield Shield for over 10 years. Like, he's not a stranger to this environment as well, and he's done well in his tests as well. And obviously bowled in Sri Lanka, bowling his tweakers, but to do it on home soil when Australia really, really needed those wickets as well. I think they'll be having some conversations in there about that pitch and thinking, oh, would we have wanted to play a spinner? Beau said, yeah, like, it is breaking up, and he was getting prodigious turn there as well. Like, that ball to Harry Brook is an absolute cracker on any day of the week, any surface. So you can't tell me that a spinner wouldn't have been needed. But look, it'll probably be enough to get Australia the result, and we'll forget about it in 3 days' time. But yeah, I think they missed a trick not playing a frontline spinner. But luckily for them, they've got a guy like Beau who's setting them down pretty well.
Yeah, that's right. I was actually going to make that point that I guess when Australia does win tomorrow, it doesn't really matter. 138 years it's been since the Aussies haven't picked a frontline spinner, and it turns out that history is actually pretty positive as well. Where do we go to next? Actually, as I can see some people walking out behind us at the moment, I might just quickly chat about the crowd for a second. 10,000 needed through the gates tomorrow to break the all-time test attendance record here at the SCG after a couple of two-day test matches over the course of this Ashes series. Gee, that must be a nice one for Cricket Australia.
Yeah, interesting to note the tickets are $30 a pop. It used to be the old gold coin donation, but that will be going to charity, so no qualms on that front. I would be absolutely stunned if we don't get more than 10,000 through the gates tomorrow, and rightly so. Australia going to basically hold up the urn, and Uzi Khawaja's potential last test dig, and yeah, a victory in sight. So I think there'll be, I could seriously see 30,000 rolling in tomorrow, and the final over long Ashes campaign and a break for us potentially after that.
God, I can't wait for that. We will review the Ashes series tomorrow, but one more before we go now. Tom, is there any chance Australia don't win this test match? It's 119 England's lead at the moment. They have the potential to add a few more runs tomorrow. At what number do you think they'd be starting to get nervous?
Yeah, it's
maybe
great.
Something with a 2 in front of it?
Yeah, definitely a 2, 100%. I think they'd be slightly nervous at 150. They definitely, there was a situation today when we thought the game could be over today, had things gone really, really well, and they'd ripped through them after Beau took 2 and 3 balls. But yeah, anything over 150, they'd be nervous. I think they'll try and get the runs pretty quickly and not muck about. But nothing to lose. I think England without someone like a Jofra Archer lose their potency massively. But funny old game. The Ashes obviously done and dusted. I think if it was a 2-all situation, then I would never see Australia losing that. But yeah, maybe a bit of pressure, bit of things against them, a few bad decisions, a run out. You never know.
I'll tell you what, when Beau Webster started taking those wickets, there was some cheers in the press box, and you don't normally hear that. There were dreams of a 4-day finish here in Sydney, but instead we are heading to the final day of this Ashes series. For more in-depth analysis on everything that did unfold today, head to the Sydney Morning Herald and Age websites for your highlights. Check out 9 News tomorrow, and then we will be back here to review not just the 5th test match of this series, but the Ashes as a whole.